No, ain't no way to really make this good. We could go kind of Blair Witch. That's awkward as fuck. Y'all have to excuse me. I have zero charisma tonight, probably. And everything's kind of a struggle. That's decent. That'll do. So let's talk about how alive and well the rape culture is in America. I just had to hand my kid off to my rapist. You heard me. I had to hand my kid off to my rapist. Why? Because he's my husband. He's my husband. Ask me how bad I want to get married again. He was he was really excited that I lost a bunch of weight. Thought maybe he could claim that I had been doing drugs, so he sent DFACs out here, and they were like, "I can tell what's happening. He's an abuser, and he's trying to do what they do and try to get custody taken away from you as a thing to do." And that didn't work because the young man was, very understanding and knew what was up. So that went nowhere, but then we get into the divorce part. The TPO was awful. I'll get into that later, but I'll do the divorce while it's fresh. I still can't even believe this shit's happened. He gets in there and I'm not going to go through the whole case. They award him 50-50, which is what I found out is typical. I wouldn't be picked on with that. I think I was being picked on with the TPO, and like I said, we will get into that, but this is actually kind of standard, and what this situation entails is if you're married to your abuser and you have a child together, you get divorced. Maybe you go to a shelter like I did. They can drag you into court. They can harass you on the phone. They can have access to your person, your schedule, all that for life. Even if they rape you, even if they beat you senseless to death, leave you for dead. If you're married and you have a kid, you better make friends with that guy because you're still gonna have to deal with him. There's nothing in place to protect me from my rapist and my abuser because he's my husband. I had to hand him my son today, right after court. I didn't have time to even love on him, tell him bye, because I had to do the drug test that they ordered. They have not dropped that. First, they wanted hair follicles. And if y'all ain't noticed, this ain't all me. There's a reason for that. And that is I have been balding since, this is more than thinning, since I was very, very young. And I have now gone entirely to extensions and wigs. And he knows that. He was there. He saw the steroid injections in the scalp the doses of prednisone that had me shaking like a paint shaker and having nightmares and developing stomach ulcers because it was given to me by a dermatologist who didn't know you should maybe take an antacid with all that. And that's why he wanted hair. And they ordered it. Now, when they take a hair sample, they take like a 1-inch square. For a person like me, it's devastating. As you can see, it's a lot of forehead back here. See how far that goes back? Sucks, man. Sucks. Look at that. You see how thin? You see the sides? You see how you can see straight through them? It's like that all over. See that skin shining there? In the middle, behind that, there's a little bit of hair. And there's some skin. The actual ponytail, if you want to call it that, that's produced is, not really luxurious. Pretty skinny little ponytail. They want to take a whole square inch. Because he knows it's going to hurt me. He was real upset when they said his hair was too short to do a follicle. We tried to get him to take arm hair, but they said they don't do that anymore. He was real upset. And they took urine, and he passed. And so, I guess that means that, he was fully prepared to take me down on the only front he thought he could because he thinks that I'm a hardcore pot smoker. And he thinks that I have been on meth to get super skinny. But, yeah, so when my lawyer found out that he didn't hair test, she said I shouldn't have to hair test. So, but I still had a pee test, and I was fine with that. I was like, whatever, fine, yeah, gallons, got you. I was even joking with her. She was like, do you have to pee? I was like, well, no, but after 3 kids, I know that if I go and push real hard, something's gonna happen. She thought that was funny. I thought it was funny too. So we get ready. We're getting ready to go out. She's putting gloves on because, she's going to handle this sample. And then she goes, now, I am going to have to watch you. But I'm not on probation. I don't have the right to pee in private as a sexual abuse survivor of not just this man who has me peeing for you now, but many, many, many before him. She holds me as I cry and tell her again, even more than the hair, now I feel very, very violated. And that's what he wanted. And he got it. On your dime. You paid for this to be done to me. Maybe that'll make you mad enough to do something. So anyway, he demanded to get my son tonight. I'm gonna get a week here, a week with him, week here, a week with him. He's allowed to call me every night at 8. Speak to his son. The real fun one, the babysitter thing. I actually lose my weeks if I, for any reason, have to hire a babysitter and I don't call him first and give him the opportunity. That means, guess who has not only has to give me permission to go places now again, but he now knows my schedule, my comings and goings, my private life that I didn't want him to know when I had the strength to leave and go to the shelter with my children. There is no shelter. There is none. I've been slut-shamed. Had my rape called consensual and actually instigated by me. The massive criminal history that would tell any idiot this guy has no regard for other people's lives or for little pieces of paper like orders. The system has failed me and has failed my son. Tonight, my son is under the roof of a rapist and a domestic abuser. And as a mother, I had to decide whether to place my child in those hands, or do I rebel and I protect him, putting all 3 of my children at risk when they come for me and take me to jail. What was I supposed to do? Last minute, I decided to take him to meet the rapist, and he walked right up to my door, walked right up to it. I was still getting out passenger side, and he noticed that. I saw him notice that. I saw his face. I saw the face. And I've seen that face a lot. Who the fuck did you bring with you, bitch? Who's in the car with my son? So, he just politely opens the door to my car. No kind of regard to my car, my grandmother's car, actually. And BTW, that's who was sitting in the driver's seat. And I said, "Excuse me." And I backed him up. Because I motherfucking can. And I took my son, my sleeping son, out of the seat. I said, "Buddy, you want to see your daddy?" He wakes up real excited. Yeah, he goes running, gets up in Steve's arms. They're all hugging. I set the car seat on the ground. He said, "No, I got one." So whatever. Put it back in the car. Shut the door. He's done halfway to his car. I didn't get to hug my son bye, give him a kiss, nothing. I guess I should have known that was going to happen. Taking my chance when I was waking him up. But he wouldn't let my grandmother either. And my grandmother had gone inside to tell the police that we were there to meet him, and they said that he'd filed a report on me for not being there on time. Mind you, the judge never told me a time, but he insisted when he saw me that the judge had told me 4 p.m. But from what I understand, that was just a suggestion thrown out by one or both of the lawyers, and it was never uttered by the judge. Judge just said tonight. But he filed a police report on me when I was like 1 minute late, according to him, by that 4 p.m. deadline. And mind you, about 3:42, he's texting me, pressuring me, repeating the same thing. Chief's ready for you. He pulled that trick here lately, and it turned out to be a lie because I called Chief Mansour, but he was trying to lure me out of the house, saying that Chief Mansour of Villa Rica Police had agreed to supervise a visit. He managed to get my son tonight because he said he hadn't gotten to see him since December 13th, which incidentally was the most recent sexual assault committed by him towards me. So, real hard to figure that one out. So that was his fault. But even though that was his fault, I still had to run around like a chicken with my head cut off at my own expense to purchase humiliation. Oh, and the building where I went to get drug tested, it said big girls all over it, which I know he was laughing at because I sure was. That was his little pet name for me because he knew I had an eating disorder, so he would call me big girl. Make sure I didn't get too full of myself. Got to take her down a peg or two, you know what I mean? So I know he laughed at that. I didn't laugh. It was just another grim reminder of being in his grip. I had to parade down the hallway with my little pea cup. There wasn't a bathroom in the room where we had our little discussion, so I had to parade down the hallway with my pea cup, both ways. And even though my pee passed, guess who still has to do a hair follicle? No, not this bitch, because I'll sue the motherfucker that wants to take it a goddamn centimeter. I've been pushed to my limit today. I'll cooperate to an extent. But everybody that participated in what happened during the course of the TPO and today in divorce court, everyone having any part to do with this, I'm going to make you famous. I'm going to make you famous. I'm going to put you on TV. I'm going to tell the people what you did. I'm going to let them decide if it was right. I'm going to let them decide what happens. Should you keep your job? Should you work at a bar? Like I did. After being a domestically abused housewife for 10 years. Y'all failed me. Y'all perpetrated his violence. You helped him carry out a 10-year threat towards me. And that's a threat that's been carried out twice before. It's been going on for 16 years with Lisa Cardin. And it's been going on for 20 years, 21 years with Stacey Shellnut. So, I'm 11 years in now. You really want me to do the rest of my life? You want me to have to look at my phone and see his name popping up, text messages telling me what to do, where to be, what he wants? He raped me in my bed in that house. The house that my grandmother bought to protect me from him. I got drunk at a bar. I trusted him still. I called him for a ride home. He raped me. Now he says not only was it consensual, I wanted it. I instigated it. I couldn't even hold my eyes open, y'all. I was time traveling. I remember 3 seconds. 3 seconds. I didn't initiate shit. Oh, and then I found his underwear under my bed a few weeks later. So I don't sleep in there anymore. I sleep in a chair in the living room. I sleep in my car. Sometimes I don't sleep. Sometimes I just work all night. So that at least I know that I'm moving towards a future where me and my kids don't worry about nothing. And if he's allowed to be in my future, he's going to make sure that that doesn't happen. He's going to make sure that me and my daughters, who are not even his, he's going to make sure that we suffer and we dance to his tune forever. If the court won't protect me from this fate, if it won't protect my son from this god-awful excuse for childhood, then what in the fuck is the court for? Money? Is that all y'all do now? Is that all y'all do? Ain't no probation fines here to be paid, is there? Anything that's going to be paid here is going to be paid between me and him and her, correct? That's why you ain't interested? Then why? Why you ain't interested in sticking your neck out for me? I've been a taxpayer. I voted for some of y'all. Not y'all in this county, clearly. But judges. I got judges that I admire. Why don't you stick your neck out for me? And my son, who right now is God knows where. And I don't know if I'll see him again. People pull Casey Anthony's left and right. One was right here in this place, right here in this city, last week. There was a young lady that saw me crying in the bathroom today. Same exact predicament. Her TPO got denied, and her abuser got a hold of her son. Wasn't nothing she could do about it, and he beat him to death. That night. My son, right now, could be being beaten to death. I don't know. And I have no way of knowing unless I contact him, which is what he wants, which is why he's got my son. He doesn't love that baby. When I told him I was pregnant, he said, I had a vasectomy. I said, the hell you did, and how the fuck am I pregnant? He said, well, I had to check you. Mind you, I had been through cervical cancer, didn't even know, if I could have another baby. And it was a really big deal to me to get to just at least have one more, and especially to have one with Steve, because we were married, and it would be so nice to get to do things the right way. I had 2 kids out of wedlock, and I really wanted to, go about the proper order and get to have fun with it and relax and be with the baby's daddy and on all that. And it didn't go that way, obviously. He didn't even want that baby. But he has learned that when his sparkling personality and what he considers stellar appendage, when that runs out of novelty, start fucking with her mind, then maybe lock her down financially, socially. Don't let her work. Cut her down about her body and make her feel crazy when she cries at something horrible you just said. Definitely slam your fist into furniture a lot, being as loud and large as you can, because you weigh 400 pounds and you're 7 feet tall. I'm 5 foot tall, y'all. Don't matter what I weigh, I'm 5 foot tall. And he loves to fucking intimidate me. I don't know why. But if y'all let this continue, I swear to God, Lord have mercy on your souls. I'll never forget that time that the world turned its back on me. And the one who's with the rapist. They make great babysitters, I guess. Any kind of extreme reaction I have is just going to make me look like I'm trying to separate a child from his father. No one in that courtroom understood the pain I felt that moment. Nothing's mine anymore. My baby's not mine. I can't decide to homeschool him the way I've been doing for months and enjoying. I have to only get him every other week. It really sucks. I don't know, man. If anybody knows of a way to help me, somebody to contact, and please do. This is the realest y'all ever gonna see me. I'm ready to fight, but I'm also ready to take a nap. But I don't think I'll be sleeping until my baby comes home. I'm not usually this ugly. I've cried pretty hard today. Matter of fact, I wailed like a woman whose child was already dead. If he doesn't bring him back to me, I'll die. And there won't be nothing I can do. There won't be a thing I can do. Because he's his father, too. We're married. We all the time bitching about Sharia law. And how sometimes these girls are forced to marry their rapists. They're basically forcing me to stay married to mine. They're forcing me to hand my kid to mine. All because we already are married. There's whole blogs on how to live this way. On how to survive this. For the next 18 years or so, they say. I'm not going to survive this. I'm going to end this. Because I already decided I was done just surviving. That's exactly what I said I was done doing. So I'm not going to go back to that. I'm not going to let him take me back to where we were. Man, I need y'all's help. Comment. Below, to the side, to the top, to the bottom. I don't care. Contact me somehow. Tell me what the fuck to do.